Oh my god!
Bill Bartlett all of a sudden came upon this creature. He saw this, it was kind of burned onto his memory. The next sighting where John Baxter saw it, he was definitely more scared. Its eyes seemed to glow. It wasn't an alien, it wasn't some kind of mutant animal, nothing panned out. It's almost as if the Dover demon popped into our reality and popped out.
A couple of the witnesses of the Dover demon said that it had shining eyes. Eye shine is something that happens at night in some species of animals.
Well, many nocturnal animals have an eye structure that allows maximum light in and has a whole layer that reflects light in a big way. And so eye shine is something that you see if you go out into the forest at night.
What's up guys, I'm Dean aka the Blue Crusader. Welcome back to the channel. You may have heard tales of creepy creatures unconfirmed by science, or strange beings that lurk the woods at night. You may even believe in some of them. Today we're going to be counting down the top 10 cryptids and myths. Number 10, Mothman. Hailing from the US state of West Virginia, Mothman is strange and an unexplained urban legend. Mothman is one of the most recognisable cryptids to many today. But where did it come from, and what are its origins? The first sighting of Mothman was reported on November the 12th, 1966 in West Virginia, near a place called Clendenin. 5 men were preparing a burial site when Mothman allegedly struck. They said that they saw something in the sky that they could not explain, a brown-skinned creature lifting off from the nearby tree branches. The men all maintained the fact that they believed the creature was some sort of humanoid rather than a bird. The largest amount of sightings, though, of Mothman come from the old West Virginia Ordnance Works, a place that the locals recognise as the TNT area. It is a historic abandoned supplies factory dating back to the Second World War. The Mothman is described to appear as a brown-skinned, winged humanoid, an appearance you'd expect to see from an angel. Although the tabloid given name of Mothman is used to describe this cryptid, his appearance does not mirror that of a moth, apart from the wings. It is said that the Mothman's colour varies from black, brown, or white and grey. The creature is noted as being 7 feet tall, with a wingspan of 10 to 15 feet, able to fly at 100 miles per hour. Number 9. Mermaids. Mermaids are something you may have seen in films, or perhaps even from old material, dating back to Greek mythology. However, they are also cryptids. As you may know, fictionally, mermaids appear as half humans and half fish creatures, humanoids with the upper abdomen of a human and the lower half tail of a fish. Sightings of these creatures come from perhaps unexpected sources, one of them being Christopher Columbus himself. Columbus had been sailing with his crew off of the coast of Hispaniola in the year 1493. Columbus had described a sighting of 3 female forms that rose high out of the water, but were not as beautiful as represented, as I quote. The logbook of Blackbeard also notes that he had sent his men on multiple sea voyages to steer clear from charted waters, labelled as enchanted based upon a fear of merfolk or mermaids, which his crew and himself had claimed to have seen. Although this is interesting, we'll perhaps take this information with a grain of salt, as it's coming from pirates who were notorious for the consumption of certain things. Whether mermaids are real or not, if we take science as an example, it is quite impossible or unfeasible due to women or humans altogether being mammals, whereas fish are cold-blooded, aquatic creatures. Having both kinds of creature in one form doesn't fit the natural cycle. Number 8. Gargoyles. The gargoyle is another creature embodied in popular fiction. You may have seen them in vampire films or as structures and statues upon slightly dated buildings. However, gargoyles are also cryptids. In fictitious material, gargoyles are large winged humanoid creatures, popular for their demonic appearance comprising of horns, pointed tails and ears and talons. Some fiction references their ability to turn into stone to appear as a statue. Some think of gargoyles as beings that protect places from sources of evil, such as evil spirits, and it perhaps is the reason for their placement in certain situations. One of few popular encounters and sightings is one simply called Frank Shaw's gargoyle. Frank Shaw's gargoyle is the title of the man's tale of a grotesque and malevolent beast sighting. As a NASA employee in the year 1986, Frank Shaw was leaving his place of work at Houston's Johnson Space Center. He was noted as claiming to have spotted a large black gargoyle figure perched upon the edge of the Space Center building and staring back at him, a figure he would later describe as beyond mythology. He had been walking back to his car when his eyes had met this creature. He claimed that he was filled with shock and could not move as he looked on in horror. He described the gargoyle as wearing a cape with two large wings that ripped through the fabric. Allegedly, the creature took flight with a crackling roar from its wings and into the night sky. Sometime after the incident, when confiding in a work supervisor, it was revealed that they had a file with information based upon the creature due to mysterious passings of 2 German shepherds from the facility, and he was not the first to have seen it. Number 7. Black cat sightings. Black cats, also known as alien big cats or ABCs, refer to large cats that have an appearance similar to those of cats such as panthers, leopards, lions or cougars. The word alien describes the fact that they are not thought of being native to their surroundings. There are many more famous sightings which are labelled after the location, such as the Beast of Exmoor, the Beast of Dartmoor and the Beast of Bodmin Moor. However, with the close locations, it could easily appear that some of the sightings could just be publicity or tourist stunts. Small bodies retrieved of some of the smaller types of these cats have been found to be crossbreeds comprising of a Scottish wildcat and domestic house cats. It would seem more plausible that they could be wildcats, however some of these large cats look like black panthers or African cats. It is commonly presumed that the larger cats could perhaps be escaped exotic pets kept away illegally by their owners, or escaped zoo animals. For years, even predating scientific theories, have these cats roamed the British lands. In the old days, some referred to the cats as demonic forms or witches shape-shifting like druids. A boy even had an encounter with a creature that appeared to be a black panther in 2000. Number 6. The Jersey Devil. The Jersey Devil is described as a creature that is native to the New Jersey Pinelands, one that has been roaming for at least 260 years. Although a mysterious creature built upon almost purely, seemingly fictitious stories of betrayal or mythology, the Jersey Devil has seen its fair share of sightings too. Sightings have been recorded in the Pine Barrens and its surrounding areas ever since the 19th century. However, documented findings don't tend to go back any earlier than the year 1909. One account from a Commodore Stephen Decatur claims that as he was testing cannonballs at a range, a strange creature flew over him and across the sky. Brother of Napoleon, Joseph Bonaparte, claimed he had seen the Jersey Devil striking on livestock and flying with its piercing scream. During the stretch of 1859 and 1894, the creature was sighted on numerous occasions carrying off a large number of livestock around Haddonfield, Bridgeton, Smithville, Long Branch, Bringatane and Leeds Point. Although like all creatures we cannot confirm anything, possible evidence may lie in the thousands of eyewitness reports along with footprints suggesting there is a possibility of its existence, but there is zero physical evidence however to prove this. Number 5. The Loch Ness Monster. Nessie, also known primarily as the Loch Ness Monster, is perhaps one of the most popular creatures that comes to mind when thinking of myths and cryptids. The Loch Ness Monster resembles a dinosaur-like creature, having an almost uncanny appearance to the Elasmosaurus or Plesiosaurus. The Loch Ness Monster is shown as a creature perhaps
9. Recent sightings of cryptids. Number 9. Here's Bigfoot. A live Michigan camera feed of 2 baby bald eagles was photobombed, and some say it might have been none other than Bigfoot. Initially, only the 2 baby eagles could be seen in the camera frame as they nested in a forest in Beulah, Michigan. But then, a dark figure on 2 legs can be seen through the trees below. You can see pictures from the video that seem to show the figure, although the pictures are admittedly blurry. It halts, then walks through the trees and jumps over a branch. After landing on a slope a few feet below, the figure disappears into the shadows. Many people, including a Bigfoot expert, said the lack of details made the video nothing more than intriguing, while others said it was just a human in an ape suit. Do you have any thoughts? Number 8. skunk ape. It is also known as the Mayaca ape and is a hominid cryptid that inhabits North Carolina, Florida, and Arkansas. A Florida man claimed to capture this elusive creature on film while visiting the Mayaca State Park in Sarasota County. You can see images from the video here, but the video's poor quality makes it difficult to discern any features or details. It's basically a dark figure in a field. The witness described the creature as a large, hairy hominid running upright on two legs. No word on whether the creature needed a shower or not. Reports of the skunk ape date back to the 1940s, but were most common in the 1960s and 70s. Number 7. Old Stinker. Think werewolves only exist in the movies or in literature? Residents of Hull, a city in the UK, believe they've encountered a werewolf called Old Stinker, a creature first sighted there some 200 years ago. It's said to be a huge hairy beast with red eyes and was called Old Stinker due to its bad breath. Eyewitnesses in town reported seeing an 8-foot-tall, half-man, half-wolf creature that was eating a German shepherd as it vaulted an 8-foot-high fence. The fearsome beast was sighted in areas around the Barmston Drain, a man-made channel nearby. The sightings prompted a local team of paranormal enthusiasts to search for the creature, and one night they spotted the monster crashing through some nearby foliage. Unfortunately, it was impossible to photograph due to the dim lighting. While the creature left trampled bushes and uprooted plants in its wake, the hard ground made it impractical to detect any footprints. The paranormal team claims their werewolf hunts will continue with every full moon. Now, locals there seem to take the werewolf sightings quite seriously. Number 6. Mermaids are known as mythical creatures that are half woman, half fish, and the male equivalent is called a merman. Well, a man named Paul Jones was taking a walk along a beach in Norfolk in the UK and claims to have found a mermaid washed up there on the shore. But this one appeared to be out of her element, having left her warm tropical environment for the chilly waters of the North Sea. She also appeared to be quite dead. Images appear to show the decaying body of a human-like creature with a fish tail. Now, while the tail and head seem to be intact, the midsection of the body is rotting. The pictures were posted online, and many seem to support the claim that these pictures do in fact represent an actual mermaid. Others think it's a dead seal, because a large colony of the animals are known to reside in the region. But we may have a better explanation. Mr. Jones' Facebook profile reveals that he is an expert modeler specializing in creepy figures.
Is that Dobby? For Harry Potter fans, that would be a treat.
Such an honor it is.
But for one Colorado mom, not so much. Vivian Gomez was thoroughly creeped out by what she saw on her home surveillance video.
He opened the door because from the cameras, you can see a shadow on the fence. Then he stopped at the front of the car and did a little dance.
Across the country and beyond, people have reported their own creepy sightings. From the supernatural to the extraterrestrial.
I think it's a dog.
This news reporter came face to face with a mysterious creature on live TV.
I'm not sure, but anyway, there's some sort of creature below me.
She had no idea what was lurking around her, or whether it was going to attack. But the animal's owner later came forward to say it was her dog, Pooch, who made a cameo on the news. While that mystery was quickly solved, another one has been plaguing a Wisconsin town for years. People across Elkhorn claim to have seen the Beast of Bray Road.
That thing, that was no dog. That was too big to be a dog. That thing was bigger than me.
It had really big claws, it was holding its roadkill like it had elbows, and it was kneeling on two knees.
Some claim it scratched their cars, while others say it was so scary they were afraid to go near it. Many have even floated the theory that it's a werewolf, but the beast remains just folklore to this day. But could these footprints be proof of another mythical creature? the abominable snowman? Also called a Yeti, the Indian Army took these photos of footprints claiming that they were found in a national park where there have been other Yeti sightings over the years. Sightings and other evidence of such a creature have never been verified, but it is said to inhabit parts of Asia. And is that a UFO?
It's rotating.
U.S. fighter pilots training in Florida couldn't tell what it was either, and they reported seeing a whole fleet of them. Inside Edition's Stephen Fabian spoke with a former government official about what the objects could be.
So they easily outmaneuver our frontline combat aircraft and sometimes accelerate away at thousands of miles an hour, speeds that would rip apart an F-35 or an F-22. It killed a pilot. We have really no idea how this is being achieved.
What could they be?
Yeah, great question. So we all want to know.
While those pilots saw something on their radars, are these people seeing anything with their cameras? One mom says she captured video of what appears to be a woman staring down from a window as her son rode a bike. She says she didn't notice the figure until she watched the video later. While another man thought he saw this image of his dead grandfather peeking through the window of his old house.
Again. Hello?
Amateur ghost hunter Jason Griffith said mysterious things have been happening at the house since his grandfather died 2 years ago. Griffith and his friends decided to take a closer look for themselves to see if Grandpa was still present.
Whoa! That is horrible. Something just like, it was like a footstep right next to me.
Are these all just wild stories? Or elusive creatures waiting to be found? Maybe one day we'll all find out. Then again, it will be much more fun if we don't. For InsideEdition.com, I'm Mara Montalbano.